All right, as we finish up deep, well, there's one other instinctive thing I'll teach you, but as we're moving on in Defense 101, right now we're going to talk about blocking. Blocking, the disadvantages, you take a little punishment, you absorb a little bit of their shot. The advantages is you don't get hit with a clean blow, right? I would rather you not get hit with a clean blow. And you want to think of blocking as kind of like a person having full coverage insurance on their vehicle. You get in a wreck, you got full coverage insurance. Hey, they're paying you. If you had a loan on it, hopefully you don't. They would pay it off, right? Pay the rest of it off. You got full coverage insurance, and they're giving you the amount, the value of your car. That could be in the financial intelligence part of this program. But right now in this, think of it as full protection. It's like ideally, yes, I'd want to parry or I want to slip and slide, right? That would be better for me when I'm defending against a jab. That's the best thing I can do, slip. It's the hardest thing to do because it takes better timing and I got to be in the best position. You know, if I'm in here and here comes a jab, boom, right? And I can slip it. That's best. Parrying second, blocking is the third go-to, but it's an essential skill. If I'm in range, I'm in my hex boxing stance, elbows in, hands high, right? Hands high, elbows in, chin down, knees bent, right? So I'm right in here. Now, here comes a jab. I don't have time to parry. I don't have time to slip maybe. That's what I do. I take this glove, boom, and I slide it right up on this forehead. That's the hardest part of your skull. That's why you see guys sometimes knock someone out, hit them right with their forehead. That's the hardest part of your skull. And you crack them, knock a guy out like that. Hopefully you never get yourself in that type of position. We don't want to do that. But we use that in boxing to block. So we do this, boom. And notice by coming, here comes a jab, boom. I'm stopping that jab. The more velocity it picks up, the more it's extending, it's picking up velocity, and it's going to have greater impact at the end of the jab. So I want to kind of smother it a little bit, boom. And I just raise that glove up. Now I'm in beautiful position. My number one go-to right here, although I love a hook and a hook's my favorite punch, from this position, whoop, I'm going to make them see stars, right? I'm reaching up underneath and catching with that uppercut. But that's blocking here. And I could come back with a hook, boom. But I love that uppercut from here. Whoop, right up underneath there. Now here, boom. I want to learn to block. I'm using both hands. Here comes the jab, boom. I don't have time, boom. What you don't want to do is this. Hold that glove an inch away from you, 2 inches away from you, because you're trying not to take anything on your forehead. What that's going to do is he's going to hit the glove, and your glove is going to hit you, and it's going to throw your timing. It's going to throw your balance. It's going to throw everything off when you could have just absorbed that shot with the hardest part of your skull, boom, right there. That's how you want to block, because then you're in beautiful position to counter right back. So that's what you want to do. Boom, right there. Boom, boom, boom. Now you are going to get a little bit red on your forehead when you practice blocking. It's just going to happen. But it's a skill that you need to be defensively sound. You don't want to get in there and do this. Do not hold your glove away from you, because you got the ricochet effect. It hits you, you hit yourself. That little thump, you're not prepared for. It's throwing you off mentally. It could hit you and you hit your own eye. Now you can't see. All kinds of things could happen when you could control this situation by just blocking. Now we know what we're doing next. Boom. Because we've trained, we've done thousands of repetitions, and it's becoming to happen automatic. We have that automaticity, unconscious competence level of learning. So back to the phone booth. I'm in the phone booth. My focus is to block the jab. I got an opponent. Ideal number one choice, got a training partner, and they're throwing jabs at me, real jabs. Range has to be right. It should hit me if I don't do anything, right? It should not be 3 inches away from my face. It's got to come right to my face and hit me. My opponent don't need to throw it as fast and as hard as they can. They can gradually pick up speed and authority on their jab as I develop mastery of this defensive skill. I'm in the corner, boom. I'm blocking, boom, boom. Don't have a training partner, do what I'm doing. Juan V is my partner, he's behind the camera. I'm right here. No partner, I'm using my imagination. Here comes a jab, boom, boom, boom. Now, other thing you can do. I'll be right back. I'm going to show you something. This, we call it a maze bag, slip bag. Mike Tyson, I believe Customato might have been the first one to really develop this. My height on this isn't perfect. It's a little high. I need to adjust this. But it'll suit this demonstration. Now, ideally, the height is me in my boxing stance, and I'm in my stance here. And then this be right at about my face level, right at my nose, the base, the main part. This right here is an old speed bag, and I filled it with rock. You can buy yourself, go to Title, you can buy yourself one of these, okay? A maze bag is what you're looking for, a slip bag. Or you could make yourself one. There's some stores. Around here we have a store called Menards. Menards sells home improvement type stuff, but their bags, their little plastic bags when you shop there, their bags are very thick bags. You could go to Menards, buy yourself, or go to your local Menards, whatever type of store you have, True Value, whatever it is. And you could buy a bag of rock, right? Little pebbles. That'll give it some weight. Or you could use sand. Either way. But it got to give it some weight. And you bag that up. Then you take a piece of tape at the top. Tape it. Get you a little string at the dollar store or wherever. And now you got a rope. You hang it. And now it can swing. That's the second choice. You have a training partner and you're in the phone booth. That's number one. That's what we want to do, number one, for Defense 101. I don't have a training partner. I want a maze bag because this is actually coming at my face and this is simulating that line of fire. Right? So if I'm practicing slipping, all right, do a little bob and weave here. That's a different skill we'll get into. All right, there's a slip, 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 right? Parry, parry, right there. Just parry, right? And jab coming, boom, just parry. All right, blocking, boom. And I'm a little high right now just because this is, like I said, this is too high for me. In my stance, I'd be right here, really. But right here, so I'm just throwing it up, boom. Using my arm right here, my hand, just blocking. Boom, right there, right, counter. Boom, right there, counter. Slip, whoop, right? Get yourself a maze bag. You don't have it, use your imagination. Either way, you're doing what you can with what you have. Defense 101. Two more things I want to tell you. One is about pulling, and then two is bob and weave, or the other thing I want to teach you is bob and weave.